Alright, what's going on? Treyz here, tennis player playing futures right now, and I've come to the problem of how do you beat people that are as good as you, right? So what I've done is I've been studying more or less 50-50 matchups to see where are guys making the difference. Where is, how is Ferrer gonna beat Verdasco consistently, right? Because that's how you have to make a living, right? You have to beat somebody as good as you all the time. What I've found, I think we could all take, because we all eventually run into our 50-50 opponent. Whether you're a 3-0 level or a 3-5 level, whatever, you get against your equal. And then, how can we make the difference to come out on top of those situations consistently? So today, I watched the Bernard Tomic against Hubert Hurkacz match. I don't know how to say those last names, so bear with me. It was first round at Wimbledon. Tomic got in as a lucky loser, and I've been charting his matches through qualies as well because I think Bernard Tomic plays unbelievably smart tennis. He manages himself and his game very, very well. Say what you want about him on and off the court, whatever you want, it doesn't matter to me. I think he's really a brilliant guy that we could all learn from. So as I broke down the match, a couple things were shocking, and this is what Tomic was doing to come out of this match with a 6-4, 6-2, 7-6 victory. First round of Wimbledon. Big match for him. Pretty straightforward victory. This is how he did it. First and foremost, at the ATP level, or at a good level, your serve and your return need to be at a minimum level, right? You can't compete if you don't serve and return well. Bernard Tomic faced 102 serves first round. He made 82 of them. No, 84 of them. Actually, he put 82 of them into the inside half of the backhand of Hurkacz, right? He didn't just try to make them and put them in the middle. He didn't think, I'll just make this return. That's not good enough against your equal, right? But because he wasn't taking any chances with his return, he only hit 2 aggressively that I charted, that I would call aggressive. He only even tried to hit 2 aggressively, and he made both of them. The ones he missed were just misses. For sure, you're going to be late. You're going to miss it long or wide, whatever. You're going to miss some, right? He missed 18 returns. But the other 82, which is the meat and potatoes of the time that he was returning serve, he's just trying to get a good solid contact into the Hurkacz backhand so that he can make the point start that way, right? So mentally, when he's returning serve, he's thinking, okay, can I hit this ball or not? Can I really do anything with it? No? Okay, to the backhand. Right? Not, okay, to the middle, I'll chip it into the middle, see what's going to happen, right? Especially on grass, that's not enough. So having that in his head already, all he has to do is move, put that return into the backhand, and he's okay, right? So making 84 out of 100 serves is absolutely crucial because you make Hurkacz play, right? The way I've broken down the court, those zones A and D are about the size of an alley. Bernard Tomic is hitting 55% of his shots into that backhand side, inside the alley, right? That's crazy. That's every other shot. He just hits it to the backhand, right? And what's amazing about Tomic is that it can free his mind to create and use all the other shot-making skills that he has when he's already decided, hey, if I can't really attack or do anything, I'm just going to go to the backhand, right? There's nothing there, I'm going to go to the backhand. I'm not going to bother going cross-court with my forehand because that's going to walk right into Hurkacz's forehand, and I'd rather deal with his backhand. So my best shot right now is to take my forehand down the line into the backhand, let him beat me with his backhand, right? Only 5% of shots are landing in zones A and D, that outside edges of the court, whether that's a pass, a volley, forehand, whatever you want to call it. I charted every single shot, and only 5% landed out there. That's 10% altogether, which means 90% of balls are landing inside that court, inside zone B and C. That means fitness is not a problem. Court coverage, not a problem. Shot selection, obviously not a problem. There's no such thing as going cross-court anymore. That's not smart decision-making. Smart decision-making is playing within those zones, right? That's shot selection. Hey, can I hit this one? No? Okay, backhand. Hey, can I hit this? Yes? Okay, now, where can I hit it to get the best reward? right? Not to the lines, obviously. Not to zones A or D. They're beating each other by hitting a clean ball again and again at a high speed and heavy. That's what they're doing. That's what we need to work on. When Tomic was defending a game point, he put 70% of his shots to the Hurkacz inside backhand. If you hit 70% of your shots to your opponent's backhand, you obviously think their backhand isn't that good and it can't beat you. And that's what Tomic did. He bet on Hurkacz's backhand not being able to beat him. So the best thing that Tomic could do was make Hurkacz hit a backhand, right? It wasn't trying to use his backhand down the line or his forehand down the line necessarily, or even really coming to the net. His best decision was to make Hurkacz hit a backhand, so that's what he did, right? That is shot selection. That's what the pros are now doing that you don't really see and you would never hear on TV because it's not going to be on the highlight, but it's smart. It's very, very smart by Bernard Tomic. The second thing that's incredible about Tomic is that he had 2 unforced errors in all 3 sets. Yep, 2 unforced errors. In my opinion, an unforced error is when you make a decision to go against the percentages, right? These guys can all hit winners and create offense from any position on the court now, right? We've seen it a million times. You want to be as close to playing at your best level without being dangerous, right? Now, if you get a shot, if your forehand's your strength and you get a ball that's sitting up for you, the right thing to do is to absolutely hammer that ball and try to create something. Now, that doesn't mean angles, that doesn't mean thinking you're gonna hit a winner, but that means you gotta hit that ball hard and heavy when you get the chance, right? Just putting a ball in play, rolling it to the backhand, as so many coaches wanna talk about, is not a thing anymore. If you go to futures, challengers, ATP events, and you really watch these guys court level, not a single one of them is just making balls. Not a single one of them, I promise you. Right? So when you get that ball set up, you need to create. Now, if you try to create, you may miss, but it was the right thing to do, right? It's right to go for it, whether you miss it or make it. So continue going for it. But as soon as you can't create anything, the right decision is to make him hit his weaker shot, typically the backhand, right? So now it doesn't matter how you get the ball to his backhand, but what you have to do is get it to his backhand. That means that you can't be on the run and still try to create this angle winner or go for a line or whatever like that, right? You got to play the percentages. Bernard Tomic made 2 wrong decisions in the entire match. That is going to be absolutely impossible to beat. If he can continue to serve and return well on grass with his short, compact strokes, and he's not beating himself and he's playing the percentages, he's going to be nasty. And that's what he's showing us, and that's what he does every single time. Now, one more facet of his game that goes totally untalked about is his net game. Now, he had a 66% chance of winning the point when he went to the net. Against the backhand, he was 10 for 15, and against the forehand, he was 8 for 12, right? But the thing is, when he attacks, he's playing to the backhand. He's making you hit a backhand pass, which is not what you want to do, or not what Hurkacz wanted to do, right? So he's playing the percentages even though he's coming up to the net. So the open court isn't necessarily the right decision anymore in 2018, right? Guys are fast. They're hitting on the run passes all the time. We see it every day. It's not really a great impossible shot anymore. It's normal. So when he comes to the net, he's playing the backhand. He's finishing on a ball that he can finish on. He's not trying to force these great volleys because he knows, hey, what, Hurkacz gonna pass me? Tomic only got passed, let's see, 3 times. Twice from the backhand, once from the forehand. Was a clean winner. So that means Hurkacz, when he's stuck hitting a passing shot, he's not even thinking about hitting a winner. He's just trying to make Tomic volley. And Tomic knows that. So when he comes to the net, hey, chill, man. I'm going to be here. Bang, I'm going to finish this volley right here. If he passes me, and especially if he passes me and his shot lands in zone A or D, man, impossible. Impossible from the statistics. So if you go in and you get passed, it doesn't matter. It's never going to happen. 5% of the time. 2% of the time, right? He got passed 3 out of 27 times. 3 out of 27. And he's winning that point 66% of the time. That is a huge, huge advantage if you can play and understand these percentages and see, hey, this is how I'm going to make a difference against my equal opponent. This is where the ground is for me. So that's what Bernard Tomic is doing. He's playing to the backhand, he's attacking the backhand, and he's making returns matter. He's not just putting them in play, he's not trying to really create anything, but he's starting on an absolute even footing 80% of the time, which is enormous at that top level. To make these guys play their service games every time is key at that level. So I hope you guys can take something from Bernard and start playing to their weaker side. Go there again and again and again and again. Make your returns heavy and solid to a good target and go from there. Think about Bernard Tomic only hit 2 out of 104 returns aggressively at Wimbledon on grass. That's the key. That's what's not being talked about, and that's what he's doing, and I expect him to do well in this draw. So tomorrow I'll watch this match and I'll come back to you again. I hope you enjoy. If you could like it and share it with anybody who you think needs to hear about it. And if you have any questions about your game, I would love to watch and chart it and come back to you with specific things that you could do better and that you could be thinking about. So let me know. Hit me in the comments. Hit me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or wherever. And let's get going, because there's a whole new level of how to play out there, especially against your equal, whatever your level is, and I can help you figure it out. Enjoy.